Good morning, and thank you for waking up with Wesley. I'm Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. So, of course, we had some fog hanging out in the area this morning. Hopefully, you didn't have to drive through that. Or if you're just waking up, good news, it's about to clear out. And then, if you're driving over the next couple of hours, it should be improving. And of course, we're also going to talk about the temperatures because we're about to move into a spring-like pattern with a lot of warm air sticking around for this week. So let's start off and talk about a little bit about this fog. I've pulled up some pictures that I actually submitted to our First Alert weather app, like we tell y'all to do all the time. These were pictures I walked outside in our parking lot and took here just a little while ago. And you can see there's our WLOX live truck and the fog in the trees behind it. I also found a nice picture near our, I think it's a pecan tree. And look, you can barely see the top of the TV tower in the distance there. Kind of lose some of that visibility the farther you look. Here's another scene on our property here at our TV studios, and you can see again, if you look out in the distance, kind of harder to see, easy to make out objects close to the camera like this tree here, but those trees in the back, can't see them because it's too foggy. Here's another scene on our property here in Biloxi, and you can see a row of trees in the distance in the back looking pretty foggy, and you can barely make out the top of this tower. It is lost in a cloud of fog. Okay, last picture showing a row of trees, which again look very cool in the foreground, and then you can see some fog in the distance. So very interesting thing to see that fog right here at our studios on the Bees Road in Biloxi, and I'm sure you probably saw the same thing out your window this morning. We'll take a look now at some of the conditions around South Mississippi. So we're heading over to Hancock County. We're seeing things improve quite a bit in this view at the Silver Slipper Casino. Let's see if I can dial into our camera controls and see if I can adjust that view. Zoom it out just a smidge. Is that going to work for me? Might not. Oh, there it is. Okay, excellent. And so yeah, it looks like a pretty nice view there with not quite as much fog as there was earlier this morning. And we kind of adjust the angle and you can make out the rest of the picture. Looks like a pretty nice morning there on the beach at the Silver Slipper. So I'm so happy that the fog has cleared out of there because it's really going to set the stage for a beautiful Tuesday. Let's take another look at one of our tower cams. This is going to be over in downtown Gulfport. And okay, it looks pretty nice now, right? We can see that view right up Highway 49. And it wasn't quite the same earlier this morning. It was quite a bit foggier. Let's see if I can roll a time lapse on that for you to show you what it used to look like and what it looks like now. This is over Biloxi, so we're going to just get rid of that and we'll go back. Let's go back 3 hours and switch it to the Gulfport cam. So this is over in Gulfport. You can see the timestamp at the bottom right, 5:37. And let's hit the play button on this time lapse, showing that cloud of fog sitting over Highway 49 during the 6 o'clock hour, the 7 o'clock hour. But then that fog cloud thinning out right there, just in the last, 10 minutes or so. So definitely some improvement. We'll roll that one more time for you just to show you how things have improved on Highway 49 in Gulfport. So always nice to see that fog clearing out and really cool to see it in time lapse. I am literally addicted to these time lapse videos that we have of these cameras because it really shows the change over time of these conditions. So that was in Gulfport. Let's switch over to the Biloxi cam by Back Bay and roll this one. You'll notice it was clear at first and then it became much foggier during the 6 o'clock hour. You can't see I-110 anymore. You can't see Back Bay anymore. But now finally, after 8:30 this morning, we are starting to see that fog cloud thin out as well. Okay, one last view. This is over Biloxi at the Bourravage. It looks like it's still pretty foggy there. So during the 5 o'clock hour, we started to see that fog roll in, and then it became even thicker at 6 in the morning. The downtown area is gone. It's hidden behind some clouds of fog there. So definitely a foggy view across the area. So let's get back to those live cams. We'll go to one that we haven't shown. We don't have the time lapse of this one at Champion Jeep Ram at I-10 and 605, but it still looks pretty foggy there. And we take a look at this over the IP Casino Resort and Spa in Biloxi, the live look, showing some sun shining through that thinning cloud of fog. And finally, still pretty foggy, looks like, over downtown Biloxi by the Bourravage. So our futurecast, it does show some of this fog this morning that will be lingering nearby, at least in the short term, but we're going to clear that out. So you can kind of see the computer model showing this fog over South Mississippi for now. But look, fast forward to 10 in the morning, and we're already starting to see that fog thinning out. And then you can see by the time we get to 1 this afternoon, it's just clear. No clouds for the most part. And looks like the rain's going to hold off too. Now, talking temperatures, we're seeing upper 70s. Now, yeah, this morning some cool 50s. Biloxi, Ocean Springs 58, Wiggins, Poplarville 58. But then you go to the afternoon and look, Biloxi, Ocean Springs, or past Christian, Bay St. Louis might be in the upper 70s. But places like Wiggins and Lucedale, they could actually go to the lower 80s this afternoon. So certainly on the warm side as we tap into some spring-like warmth here. And it's not just warm here, but it's warm everywhere. We can see temperatures that are even warmer if we zoom out just a little bit. Let's take a look at the rest of the region here. This is the Gulf Coast region showing 90s in Texas today, so the Lone Star State feeling the heat. This is not what you would expect in late March, but it's what we've got. The reason for it is because we're getting a change in the upper pattern. You see the jet stream here kind of backing off, and so the cooler air is being sort of held up to the north. Meanwhile, we are tapping in to a warm-up coming in from the west, at least upstairs in the air. And there's some pretty warm numbers on this map. We showed you the Lone Star State hitting 90, but can we make it to 100? That's what they are asking today in Phoenix, Arizona. Their high temperature forecast, 99 degrees. How about that? They're always the hot spot, but even this is pretty early for Phoenix. You take a closer look at some of our temperatures. No one's around 100, no one's around 90, but we are going to see this little zone by the beaches where, you know, Bay St. Louis, Pass Christian, Long Beach, Gulfport, Biloxi, Ocean Springs, those are going to be places that find temps in the upper 70s. But once you go closer to I-10 or to the north of that, it's warmer because you're away from the cooler waters. So we're seeing many 80s for many areas north of I-10 today. That includes D'Iberville. It includes Perkinston, Picayune. Look at all those lower 80s possible. Now, are we going to have to worry about rain over the next 5 days? Well, for the most part, no. You can see today not really showing much rain. Tomorrow, not really showing much rain. And Thursday, Friday. But then a rain system moves in over the weekend. And look at this yellow color on the Mississippi coast, indicating heavy rain possible on Saturday in South Mississippi. Now, if you were watching the national headlines yesterday, you saw that we were in the severe weather zone for this weekend. And I'm happy to tell you that that's no longer the case. We've been trimmed out of it. But there still is some time left for the forecast to change, so it's something we're going to watch closely. But I do think today's update to the forecast shows Saturday's rain chance probably in the 40 to 70% range, and it looks pretty wet. So if you have some plans on Saturday, I want to start thinking about, maybe shifting things to Sunday when the chance for rain is a little bit lower. based on today's models. You can see Saturday looks pretty wet. There's probably going to be some rain showers, a few thunderstorms in the mix. Right now, Sunday doesn't look quite as wet as Saturday. Looks like the rain kind of moves on and we're catching some breaks in the rain. Or if we get any rain at all on Sunday, it'll be kind of lighter, not as heavy as the Saturday stuff. But still, plenty of time to watch for any adjustments to the forecast. Well, that'll do it for our update this Tuesday. Thank you for waking up with Wesley. I've been Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.